guiding you across the ins and outs of strata living.
It's appropriate for the strata community to determine when to get legal advice, expert advice.
Helping you untangle the intricacies entailed in strata living.
Is this issue relating to the resident misbehavior? Is it a phone call first that should be done?
You're tuned in to Strata Life Podcast by Rochelle Castro, the place where you should learn all matters strata.
For this episode 11 of Strata Life Podcast by Rochelle Castro, I want to talk about conflict with parking spaces and strata parking rules. Living in a strata community usually has to deal with limitation of parking spaces. Before you move into a strata community development, it's important that you understand parking spaces and the strata parking rules. This all depends on your personal preference and your personal circumstances. This also depends on how often you receive visitors. Parking spaces would relate to your constant use of particular common parking spaces. This also could relate to your visitors' use of the parking spaces. And there are strata parking rules that usually govern these spaces. But the general ones is that parking should not obstruct others' enjoyment of common property, meaning the parking spaces have to be used. And this also means that if there's limitations in time when it comes to using visitor parking spaces, they should also be observed. What's important is you as a resident or you as a landlord, you both need to be aware about the strata parking rules and also determine whether these types of parking spaces limitations fit your personal situation. There are rights within Australia in respect of strata communities enforcing parking rules. But if in doubt, if a parking rule is invalid, whether a parking rule is valid or invalid, it's important that you seek expert advice in that regard. So keep in mind, when it comes to parking spaces, to avoid conflict, understand the limitations in parking spaces and also understand the parking rules. If you like the contents of the Strata Life podcasts, please like and share with your friends and loved ones. My name is Rochelle Castro here in Strata Life Podcast. I'll see you next time.